Is that a good thing? Beckett is a complete disaster. All right, guys, in this video, we are going to be going through Beckett grading entire debacle. I'm going to give you my thoughts on it, but I'm going to walk you through an entire timeline of what I think has been wrong with Beckett, really focusing on a leadership structure perspective. But then I'm going to finish this with completing the pulse survey that they did send out. I know I'm a little bit behind on this by about a week, but I wanted to just digest this information and just watch all the craziness unfold, not necessarily just break this news to you guys, but I want to walk you through everything. So if you are very aware of the situation, skip the first couple of minutes of this, but we're going to jump into the entire situation, the proposed grading scale change, which follows last year's slab change. And we're going to walk through the poor decision making that is taking place at Beckett, starting from the top. And I have an inkling of a suspicion that it's likely above the CEO of Beckett, that it's probably going above their head, but we're going to dig into that. So let's just go ahead and jump into this. So this is on Sports Collectors Daily. They did a pretty good summary article, so we're just going to go through this. So what is the situation with Beckett? Here we go. Beckett's proposed grading scale change meets with opposition. Okay. Less than 48 hours after the introducing changes to the upper end of its long-standing grading scale, Beckett Collectibles backtracked amid backlash from its customers and, at least for now, has scuffled its plan. The announcement acknowledged that the proposed changes weren't popular with customers. Duh. Among the most widely criticized changes was the lower designation of a gold label 9.5 grade from its current Gym Mint designation to Mint Plus. I have to think that there are monkeys literally working at Beckett, like, you know, the ones who just turn the graphs that are going down, they just flip them upside down and be like, no, we're actually doing really, really good. See? Just flip the graph upside down. These are the types of people that are working at Beckett calling the shots. After listening carefully to the feedback you all shared, we have decided not to make any changes to our grading scale at this time. The company stated, though, through its social media channels on Saturday, we will keep you updated with an official announcement later next week regarding improvements in our grading scale. In its initial announcement at the Mint Collective in Vegas, which kicked off in Vegas last week, the company said it would expand its qualification for a Gym Mint grade, allowing a card with just one 10 subgrade and three 9.5 subgrades to qualify as a Gym Mint 10. The move was meant to align Beckett with its competitors, who only give Gym Mint designations to cards receiving a 10 grade. So this is a scale of what the proposed changes were going to end up being. So essentially, if you had what's known as a true gym, starting here at the bottom, 9.5 subgrades across the board. That is currently a Gym Mint card. Many people consider quad 9.5s on par with PSA. Yes, there's different grading criteria in terms of how they assess the cards. Totally get that. Not saying they're perfectly equivalent, but this is a very strong card. It's Gym Mint. So what they are trying to do is change their 9.5 label, just as SGC changed from an SGC 98 to a SGC 10. They actually changed their label twice in a matter of 4 or 5 years. A lot of people don't realize that. They were SGC 98, then they changed the label, and then during COVID, they changed the label again because people apparently didn't like it. CSG changed their label. It was CSG 9.5 was Gym. Later, people hated the label, so they changed the label and the grading scale. Beckett. Beckett has been doing the same thing for 30 years. People know what a Gym Mint card is. Why Beckett has to be so insecure that they have to change, they feel the need to change their label because, oh, PSA is kicking our ass, SGC's now kicking our ass, CSG's knocking on our door, oh boy, we have to bow down to them and we have to actually change our label. No. Your label and grading scale is not the problem. Can't go on the rant yet. All right, keep going. We'll save that for later. Gym Mint. So in order to be Gym Mint, here we go. It consists of a card with one 10 and at least three 9.5s. So essentially, if you have a 9 subgrade, not Gym Mint. Not good. Let's see. So if you had two 10s and a 9.5, you're still Gym Mint. And then we have the gold label pristine, which stays the same. That's essentially three 10s and a 9.5. And then we have four, the black label staying the same. So this brings up a ton of different scenarios. So if you have three 10s and an 8.5, currently that is a Gym Mint card. What happens if you have three 10s and an 8.5 in the new grading scale? Is it even Mint Plus? We don't know, because the Mint Plus here only shows four 9.5s. What happens if you have a 9 subgrade? Is that just Mint? So if you have 10, 10, 10, 9, is that just Mint? Like, what an idiotic unveiling. This is a preposterous failure. And this is following up the proposed label change and the logo change from the National in 2022, in July of 2022, which I think was the National, I'm pretty sure. We're going to dive into this, guys. Stick with me. We're going to keep going. This starts at the top. This is not the Jeremy Murrays of the world. This is not the people that you see at the National who are slaving. They are absolutely, you see it in their eyes. If you drop off orders at the National, you hear the frustration from customers. They're brunting the full force of customer service. Trust me, I worked for CVS. I'm a pharmacist. As a technician, I did not work for them as a pharmacist. Never worked for that company. Don't even try to hire me. And there's not a pharmacy oversaturation problem. Trust me, all those media reports are bullshit. Again, I've worked in customer service. Those people who are taking in those orders at the National, you can see it in their eyes. Like, their soul is being sucked out of their body. Like, they don't want to be there. They know that the place is not operating well. But it starts at the very top, and then it even starts above that at the holding company. For more than 20 years, yes, more than 20 years, Beckett considered its 9.5 grade equal to other companies' grade 10, but that perception, at least in the minds of some collectors and dealers, depends on the subgrades. That is true in a way, but at the same time, it wasn't up until 4 years ago, whenever the tide started to turn, because PSA's value was always higher. A lot of people argued that. There's many collectors who thought, well, no, PSA's value is only high if it's an iconic rookie card or if it's a Bowman Chrome card. PSA's value's always been higher, at least on par or higher. But Beckett was right there. Beckett was either on par or maybe 90% of the value, 95% of the value. Sometimes they would jockle back and forth a little bit. But then the value just plummeted, mainly because Beckett struggled with one thing: operations. Operationally, they got rid of everything that was working for them. Beckett was a mainstay grading company in this hobby, often viewed as number one. They were the number one leader in ultra modern or modern grading. PSA stole that market share. I was an early adopter because I saw the value change. But I also saw that Beckett was absolutely getting crushed as it relates to their operation. So what do I mean by that? The bread and butter for Beckett was simple, best label. The label is beautiful. Gold, beautiful, amazing. The case, beautiful. Premium, sturdy, not flimsy like PSA, not flimsy like SGC, not flimsy like CSG. It is a sturdy, rock solid. I can throw it against a brick wall. It's not going to be damaged. Okay, it might chip a little bit, but still going to protect my card. Inner sleeve, beautiful. All right, not transparent, get it, totally get it. But it protects my card and it looks beautiful. Like, it's the gold label, the black label, it's just perfect. Okay, everybody knows that this is a great label. All right, where did Beckett F up? Beckett effed up whenever they said, oh, guess what, guys? Our guaranteed turnaround time, something that PSA doesn't do, something SGC doesn't do, the only people who really matter at this point in time, we're going to go ahead and ditch that. 10 days doesn't mean 10 days anymore. 20 days doesn't mean 20 days anymore. 45 days doesn't mean 45 days anymore. We're going to ditch that. Oh, guess what? Instead of 45 days, we're going to make that now 6 months. Then we're going to make that 9 months. Okay, we get it. PSA just had their issues. We get it. SGC had their issues in COVID, lest we forget, because they were the only company in open during COVID. Thank you, Florida. Beckett had the issues first. As soon as they got rid of the guaranteed turnaround time, it's like, did they fire half their staff? Because their turnaround times went from non-guaranteed to 9, 12, 18 months overnight. Like what happened? What happened? So that right there was the big kick in the ball sack to all the collectors and all the people who wanted to submit, and we were like, we're not using Beckett anymore. So your ultra modern and modern market share dominated by Beckett, grading what, 20, 30, 40, 50,000 cards per month. PSA is grading something equivalent. Well, all of a sudden in 2020, PSA is grading roughly 250,000 cards a year. Well, in 2022, they're grading 1 million cards a year. In 2023, they're grading 1.2 million cards per year in April of 2023. So we saw an equivalent market share dynamic occur where Beckett and PSA were co-owners of the marketplace. Now Beckett is still right here with the hobby exploding, having exploded and crashed and exploded, crashed, did nothing. Most opportunistic time in the world to jump into the marketplace and prove themselves operationally, maintain their brand status as the #1 player or at least a solid, viable #2. But no, they watched PSA run laps around them. They watched SGC, this little company in SGC, bought by some entrepreneur guy. The brand was basically dead. He revived it from the grave, puts it up in some complex in Boca Raton, and next thing you know, now they're the #2 grading company in terms of volume, and they have this cult following unlike anything else, and their product absolutely sucks. There's no brand history or recognition. Their slab is flimsy as all get out. I can break it with my hands. Like, it is, and they're kicking your butt, Beckett. They are kicking your butt. You let all of this happen, and it's because you could not fix your operations. So we're going to get to it. In this video, since taken down on Beckett's Twitter timeline, Chief Visionary Officer Scott Roskin said, "We spent months and months and months." Did you, dude? Nobody asked me. I mean, I'm a peon. Nobody asked me. No, who did you talk to? Like, were you talking to a bunch of yes men? Were you talking to sports card investor? Were you talking to sports card investor? Were you all talking to him? Did you get investing tips from him? We spent months and months talking to all sorts of hobby participants going through this and believe that this is the best thing for the hobby. Whew. Oof. Name names, old Scott Roskin, dude. After hearing and reading comments from customers after the announcement, however, company officials met and decided to delay moving ahead with its intended plans. That reversal was announced on Saturday, of course, because everybody was freaking out. Is my current Beckett 9.5 with a 9 subgrade now a Mint Plus? Dude, my collection just got cut in half in terms of monetary value. So my Gym Mint LeBron James RPA with a 9 subgrade, which majority of them do, is now Mint Plus. Like, how much, I'm trying to think, what drug did they have to be on in that boardroom to come up with that idea? Like what, I gotta think, man. I don't ever want to take it, whatever it is. Don't want to be on it. So Beckett had to backtrack immediately after this, so they put out that tweet. But let's see what they say. "We are grateful for the feedback and insights you have shared with us over the past 48 hours. Your passion for our brand and hobby is truly remarkable, and we appreciate your support. After listening carefully to the feedback you all shared, we have decided not to make any changes to our grading scale at this time. We will keep you updated with an official announcement later next week regarding improvements to our grading scale. We thank you for your continued trust and loyalty to Beckett. Please continue to share your thoughts and feedback directly with us." Well, it's been a week, and guess what? They put out a poll survey via SurveyMonkey. The changes to align Gym Mint grades with its peers is one of the moves meant to recharge Beckett's grading service with faces not only strong competition from ever-growing PSA, as well as long-established SGC and emerging competitor CSG. Everything I just said. One of the collector's biggest concerns about the proposed changes was the value retained by the Beckett 9.5, of course, but beyond market price reactions, there are other questions. Can I get a 9.5 reslab to get a 10? Great question. If so, would it come at a reduced price for active Beckett's customers? It should be free, to be quite honest. What cards submitted to be reslabbed subject to a new grade inspection? Yeah, that's a great question. Do they have to be re-inspected if they go in for a reslab? Would a new inspection jeopardize a card already graded Gym Mint? According to its most recent statement, Beckett will have more to say about this later in the week. By then, company leaders could be better positioned to answer more questions about the rollout of any changes. So let me tell you one thing. If any of these guys had planned vacations after the Mint Collective in Vegas, they're like, you know what, let's go play some golf down in Scottsdale where Tyler lives. Let's go out to California and maybe, go to San Diego, have some tacos on the beach. Canceled those plans. Back to the drawing board, back to Dallas, drawing board, fix it. So let's take a look at what is happening at Beckett, who owns Beckett, and how these decisions are getting cascaded down. Again, I'm not privy to anything that's actually happening. I'm just reading public information and trying to connect the dots. So I'm gonna try to connect my own dots because this is a perfect example. Call this a Harvard Business Review case review. This is how you don't run a company. This is how you execute extremely poor leadership. Now, to be fair, I'm not sure if it's necessarily him or if it's the holding company. I'm under the assumption that the holding company wanted to put someone like him in place to make decisions like this. So my assumption is falling on the CEO that he is the one making this issue. So we're going to just unpack this. All right. Who actually owns Beckett? Who is the holding company? So they are owned and operated by a company called Entrust Global Group. So the reason why we know this, Beckett on their website posted, Entrust Global Group was recognized as one of the best workplaces for women in 2021. Yay, yay, great. Pat ourselves on the back. Great for women. Not sure about men. Probably one of the worst places for men. Seems like the only people in sports cards are men. Probably not a great place to work. Skip down here at the bottom. Built on the successful turnaround of Beckett Media, the #1 brand in sports collectibles, Entrust has continued to walk the path of global diversification through its continued focus on strategy, people, technology, marketing, and innovation. Innovating as poorly as possible. The portfolio includes enthusiast brands Beckett, the Industry Summit, CBCS. So they do put on the Industry Summit, CBCS, and Dragon Shield. CBCS is that not magazine, but grading company for the comics that competes with CCG, as well as significant holdings in healthcare, a bunch of other bullcrap that doesn't really matter. They're just essentially a holding company. They invest in different things and they try to turn them around. Yada yada yada. Let's go look and see who is in this Entrust Global. So we go to their website. This is their main website. They have 11 worldwide offices. They're essentially investing in a diverse group of places and they're trying to make a lot of money. It's almost like a venture capital wealth management type of group. So you can see these are their management folks, a diverse group of people here, lots and lots of knowledge and lots of different businesses. This looks like, any typical type of corporate America. Let's go business development. Let's click on these guys. Oh, great. Beautiful. Then you can click on their investments. So there's lots of people doing lots of stuff in investments. Look at those pretty faces. Oh, great. Yeah, looks like a typical class for an MBA program. So lots of people involved in MBAs, investing in different places. Nobody really knows anything about cards. Nobody knows anything about cards there, pretty sure. They just probably know that, hey, cards are blowing up 2020, buy a company. I don't know exactly when they bought the company, as this is announced in 2021 that they were a great place. I don't know when they acquired Beckett. Okay, so that's the people, that's the holding company. Those are the ones calling the shots. Fast forward to 2022, big changes, Sports Collectors Digest. A new tech-based approach. Well, I'll tell you one thing. PSA has definitely moved forward with a tech-based approach. Let's see what Beckett has to offer. So, Beckett is undergoing a fresh start, rebranding its image, adding technology first, CEO, and moving into a new state-of-the-art building. Great. A lot is changing with one of the top third-party grading companies in the industry. Kunal Chopra was hired as CEO of Dallas-based Beckett Collectibles and Beckett Group in early June and has jumped right into the job. Fresh start, fresh brand, fresh office, new products and services, Chopra said. Exciting times. I don't see anything about this introduction that he says is a lifelong collector. I know anything about cards. No mention of cards whatsoever. Again, I could have made a video about this a year ago, but I had an inkling that this is how this is going to play out. Let's see. Chopper's background doesn't stem from the hobby. Far from it. I don't think I've read this article. I read a different one. He brings an entirely different element and perspective that Beckett has never had from its top leader. Is that a good thing? I don't think it's a good thing. I mean, that's why we got decisions like these we're backpedaling on. I've been in the tech space for pretty much all of my career, computer science graduate when I started off. That's great, good skill set. Come to healthcare. I'm excited to bring some of those technical jobs to an industry that has lagged in technology for a period of time to kind of beef it up. Let's beef it up, beef it up. Most recently, Chopper was CEO of Caspian Holdings, Inc., a tech pioneer for retail marketplaces. Okay. At Caspian, our mission was to accelerate the growth of brands into leading online marketplaces, and we provide a complete platform of software tech-enabled services. So if you're doing that, why don't you compete with Golden and open up your own auction platform? All right, haven't done that. Instead, you're trying to change your label and destroy your brand integrity for the company that has built 30 years of brand integrity built on the label and the grading skill. Got it. Pretty much my background has been at the intersection of both business and tech. Okay. Chopper, who earned his MBA from the University of Chicago, he also has been a general manager at both Microsoft and Amazon. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I think that's probably a bad thing. His resume is, let me explain that. Oftentimes you'll have people from top MBA programs, Ivy League programs, interact with numerous of them, or they work at a big tech giant like Microsoft and Amazon, and they come down and they take a high-level, executive-level role at a company like Beckett. It's not Amazon. It's not Microsoft. It's not a national Fortune 500 company, and they know it all. They can't be questioned because in their mind, they have the vision and they were hired to have the vision, but unfortunately that vision does not align with the industry. And there's nobody there to check them because they're gonna hire a chief vision officer who's gonna survey a bunch of idiots or people who aren't even in the hobby, because clearly if they were in the hobby, they would know that all these changes are bad. In order to fix the problem, what they should have done is hired somebody who had a tech background, but also operational background. Beckett is not struggling necessarily with their innovations. What is there to innovate? A new logo for your company? Okay. A new slab design? Okay. What's wrong with it? New grading scale? Nobody was complaining about the grading scale. What were we complaining about? Why didn't you send a survey, or why didn't you just read a forum? So if you were in the hobby, you would have known what the problems were with your brand. Unfortunately, you're not in the hobby. You're from Amazon land. You're from Microsoft land. I mean, you don't even speak the same language. You speak code. Like, you speak ones and zeros. We speak, I don't know what we speak, sports card language. We speak cool hit, bro. Sick. That's fire. All right, what's been great about, let's go down here a little bit, because he's got a Jeremy Murray quote. What's been great about Kunal, he is truly taking a drink from the fire hose. Okay, he's getting blasted with hobby info and changes that are taking place in our industry and really learning or leaning on a lot of the hobby heavy guys that are in our business that have been here 10, 15, 20 plus years. Anybody who's been here 10 years, too short. 15 years, okay. 20 years plus is really what you got to rely on, because people start collecting as kids. You don't need to be 18, 20 years, 38 years old to be in the hobby. You can be in the hobby as a 8-year-old and be 20 years in the hobby and be 28 and still have some pull and still have some knowledge about what's going on, because it's a hobby, it's a genuine interest. It's not something that's necessarily a career where I'm going to Amazon where I hate the company, but guess what? They're paying my bills. He has a different mindset than what Beckett had for the past 20 some odd years under the direction that we need to go. So it's nice to have that type of perspective and hear that type of guy that's going to sit back, listen to advice from people that know the industry, and take his own knowledge and then say, hey, okay, what if we try this? That's what's really been exciting. Okay, so this article was written in July 1st, 2022. Keep that in mind. Or originally June 27th. So late June, early July. Okay. Let's keep reading here just a little bit. One of the biggest assets Chopper brings to Beckett is solving problems for consumers. I've not had a single problem solved yet. It's what he knows and loves to do. At the end of the day, I just love building products and services. As I researched this industry, I knew that there's so much growth available out there. You saw that because COVID. So maybe bought high. You bought the industry high, just like everybody else, just like Fanatics, just like MLBPA. Actually, MLBPA sold high. They sold their rights high. NFLPA sold their rights high. NBA PA sold their rights high. Fanatics was the sucker. Okay. I knew that there's so much growth available out there, and the products and services available in the market are probably lacking at some level. I just got excited about the global nature of the opportunity, both in physical collectibles, the rise of digital collectibles, and NFTs. I swear to God, if I read this article if I read the word NFT from Chopra, from Beckett in 2023, I will boycott this company. I swear to God. If I hear one thing, this is 2022, so I'm giving him a pass. I'm not giving the holding company a pass for hiring him because he sucked the Gary V noodle straw and sucked it dry, and they hired this guy to beef up NFTs. NFTs are the refrigerators and couches. Two totally different things. I don't want to hear anything about NFTs ever again. They are not collectibles. It's freaking free gifts. I'm going to screenshot it, I'm going to screen grab it, and I'm going to copy it and paste it and blow it up everywhere. And it's dead. It's clearly dead. Stop making it try to happen. But he tried to make it happen. That's what he was passionate about. I mean, I don't know how you grade an NFT. Like, your biggest revenue source for Beckett, I mean, nobody cares about your magazine anymore. Nobody's subscribing to your online subscription service. Even though I go to actually try to check out just to see what kind of perks you offer me, the only technological advancement that you have is getting some guy from India to call me repeatedly trying to get me to finish my checkout process for the Beckett online subscription for like $300, $400, $500. No, stop bugging me. That is not a technological advancement or improvement to sell people. That will only piss them off more. Okay? Just good feedback. Hope you take that in. There's tremendous growth, not only in the United States, but globally. And then there's this gap in terms of the products and services that exist out there. Yeah, there's no gap in NFTs. Nobody wants them, just in case you didn't learn that in the past year on the job. Yes, I'm not a hobbyist. Okay. All right, and trust made a problem, guys. All right, I don't come from the industry per se, but that's what Beckett has. Beckett has the collectible knowledge. They've got some of the best in the industry. I'm just in the office right now looking down, and guys are amazing at what they do. What they don't have is tech jobs and that diversity of that tech experience, which is what I bring to the table. The Beckett future. Chopper has already formulated a plan and spread ideas to his coworkers in the direction he'd like to pursue with Beckett. Now it's just diving in. All right, I don't know how long you've been on the job, but this article's in June, and you already have a plan for an industry. You're an industry-leading company, and this guy has no hobby experience whatsoever. All he is doing is just interacting with a bunch of people and saying, yeah, don't care, let's do this. If you go to our website, for example, it's a little dated. Okay, good identification. It isn't the right modern consumer experience out there. We'll just go to PSA's website and copy that. Great start. So want to really focus on that. We want to really, dude, it's still broken, by the way. This is a year later, and the website's broken. I can barely tell if my order has been received or not. Like, I can submit an order and have it not linked to my login and have it be like, you know how you can guest checkout, order a pizza, guest checkout? You don't have to log in and they just send you an email. You can still do that, which is incredibly stupid. Make people have a login, tie the orders to their accounts. There's so many times I've accidentally populated the wrong email address and I don't get the email to my business email. I freak out. It doesn't populate into my order, so I can't track them. It's just a nightmare. Just fix it. This is stupid. Simple fix. All right. We want to really build a strong collector consumer experience for collectors and become a platform for collectors to really be able to manage the entire portfolio of alternative investments. We look at cards, comics, and other collectibles just as investments at some level. So giving them a platform to really be able to manage that entire portfolio as a modern-like manner is number one. Okay. So they're trying to compete with the company called Collectors that already exists, that is already about 10 years ahead of you right now. So good luck with that, Chopra. Instead of trying to fix the operations to get your revenue stream up and then try to take on these things, you're trying to take the entire pie whenever you clearly suck at grading cards right now. You were number 1/number 2. Now you're number 3/number 4. You lost all that market share in 5 years. It wasn't on you, but you're clearly not seeing that loss in market share. All you're seeing is NFTs, comics, video games, website. No. What about operations to your grading company? You had a 45-day turnaround time guarantee for the slowest service for 25 years. Why is that gone? Okay, maybe that's not a problem, not a problem. hiring people and getting facilities and hiring, new sonic welding machines, I guess that's too much of an expense, right? Like that, it takes money to make money. In business school, like I'm sure they probably said something in Chicago, like you shouldn't spend money to make money. Like I don't know. I don't know what they taught them up there. Don't know. The second piece is just improving our existing products and services. Beckett has always been the original pricing company out there, and the pricing world has moved on to use artificial intelligence and big data and analytics and prediction models. So there's a lot that can be done just within the pricing and analytics world, as well as still keeps the heritage of Beckett alive. Interesting. Dynamic pricing. Now, what would that be on? So are you essentially trying to say, let's get the pricing down to a common denominator of what people are willing to pay for grading collectibles? Given that this Beckett Media is now owned by Entrust Global, don't expect to have any type of cheap grading back from Beckett, meaning sub $10 grading. And because dynamic pricing exists, there's really no incentive on them to build out their operational capacities because, if they only have 50,000 slots or graded cards available per month, that demand is still going to be relatively high. They're taking the SGC approach. They're taking the SGC approach of let's keep our product margins high, low volume, and get as many suckers to come in. But guess what? That's a losing strategy in terms of market share because PSA's already kicked your ass. They own your ass, and they're going to start beating that ass because you are sacrificing your market share and basically conceding to a second or third place victory. You're not competing as a leader. You're not a leader. Don't identify yourself as a leader. Just go ahead and admit that because I'm not seeing anything here that has growth for operations, for expanding capacity. They moved into a brand new building. Big whoop. Okay. Have we seen anything in the population reports or gym rate data to state that you're improving your operational capacity beyond 50,000 cards a month? I'm not seeing it. I'm just not seeing it. Nobody else is seeing it. And guess what? Turnaround times are only getting worse. Everything that I submitted in Christmas, I still haven't got back. Black Friday, I got stuff back in about 6 to 8 weeks. October, I got stuff back in 4 weeks. Guess what? Boom, big promos. We're going to guarantee 40 days, 60 days. Not guarantee it, but say it's going to come back in 40 to 60 days. Well, guess what, guys? We're at like 65, 70 days, and I still don't have my stuff. Guess what? On the little tracker that you finally implemented, it still shows the cards aren't even graded yet. Operations. Chopper wants to get Beckett up to speed from a technology standpoint and to be able to compete. Dude, you're not going to compete with PSA. You're not. You're not going to compete with PSA by focusing on technology. Operations. Operations, Chopra. Look at that little face. Operations. Do they teach you this? Chopra has laid out Beckett's 3 pillars of strategy to move forward. Our first pillar is to build what we call Beckett 3.0 platform. Dude, I can't do this. I can't read this guy's vision. He's ignoring everything that needs to be fixed. Got to get to the survey. All right. This is what the new Chopra did within his second month on the job. Let's change our label to something that sucks. Okay? Let's change that label to something that sucks. I mean, who picked out this font? Oh my God, dude. So they unveiled this. New CEO, new company. I'm going to make my mark. Let's go in this direction. Let's immediately change the logo. Let me make my mark on this company so I can post it on LinkedIn for all of my other fellow leaders out there to be like, look what I did. This is a prideful thing. This is arrogance. This is pride. This is what happens whenever people come in and it's all about them. I mean, I just see this. Like, this is not a move to really advance the company. This is more of a prideful decision. Otherwise, that he wouldn't have done this. So I feel sorry for Jeremy Murray, and I feel sorry for the graders underneath him. Maybe Jeremy's part of the problem. Maybe he's okaying all this stuff and being a yes man. I don't know. But this is pathetic. Okay, so then Beckett had to backtrack that. They put out a tweet a little bit later on. Seems to be some confusion about the supersized slabs. We're actually going to give away a couple of these. They're not our new slabs. But then, of course, they're saying, yeah, they're coming. Those Beckett slabs are coming. That logo has changed. Our Beckett logo is real. All right. So what happened in early February? Let's advance over to some investments. So Chopra secured some funding. He got some money. $250 million. All right. Beckett, the most trusted name in the collectibles industry today, announced that it received additional financing from HPS, HPS Investment Partners and Freedom 3 Capital in 2022, bringing their total commitments to the Beckett Group of $235 million. So, change the logo. Let's go talk to my MBA buddies. Hey, hedge funds manager. Hey, capital investment. Give me some money. I'm going to do something cool with this company. Okay. That's basically the moves he's made so far. Let's get some money. All right, we're humbled and thrilled about HPS and F3C's incredible vote of confidence, especially at the booming time for the collectibles industry. We're kind of on the decline at this point, said Beckett Collectibles CEO Kunal Chopra. This additional financing will power Beckett's digital transformation. We had a packed 2022, which featured big product launches and revamps of existing products. With this additional support, we're going to keep launching, building, and growing with the goal of crafting the best digital platform of the world for collectors. Dude, $250 million, and this is all we got for it so far is a halfway functioning website, a website that links you to 2 previous iterations of the website in order to access your graded card orders, and you have to go through back channels to actually find your order history. Well, that finally got fixed like in the past month, but that's how it was like in the first quarter of the year. Last quarter of last year, all of last year. We look forward to leveraging our 10 years of experience providing bespoke capital solution. Bespoke? What a weird term. Capital solutions to support Beckett's new phase of growth as the company seeks to expand and maintain its position as one of the most well-respected authorities in the collectible space. We're excited to partner with Beckett and enable the company to drive value and efficiency through investment in digital transformation and automation. The investment, don't care. All right, about Beckett, about Blim, don't care. All right, so they got a bunch of money. They're going to try to do some digital transformation. That sounds great. All right, so we've walked through a little bit of Beckett's history. We didn't talk about Beckett's initial history where they were sold to Peter. I forget Peter's first name, but I thought that there was some controversy with him. I won't go into that. But as of now, they are owned by this Entrust Global Group, which has groups everywhere. They're just investing in a lot of different growth opportunities. Entrust Global said, hey, we want a new CEO, someone who's going to bring this company into a new age. So they picked Chopra, MBA from Chicago, someone who doesn't know anything about the industry or the hobby. Gee, where have I seen that before? Basically 50% of corporate America. All right, let's take their customer survey because I have lots of things to say about this. So we're going to fill this thing out together. Let's just go ahead and go for this. All right, how long is this going to be? If you had to choose, what is the main reason you collect? Passion for collecting in general. Great options. These are great options. These are really cool. I like these. Passion for collecting in general, man. Sentimental, nostalgic reasons. Long-term investment opportunities. Collectible dealer day-to-day business. How about I just like cards? I mean, this is kind of it. Maybe that's just passion for collecting in general. What do you collect other than trading cards? Oh, so this is... You can see where the survey is going because they want to collect data to see what is the next area that we need to jump into in terms of an authentication service. They want to mine this data and say, okay, so sports cards is our thing. We clearly suck at that. We're not going to focus on improving that because that's what this survey is about, by the way. We're trying to improve our cards, but you know, we want to do this other stuff too. So this is, you can see the intent behind the question. Sports cards, no, I don't do that. I have a couple of VHS tapes, but none that I'm going to agree with you because you're not the de facto go-to grading company and you're like $70, $80 per. Vinyl records, so that's interesting. It's funny how that got escalated to them. That is very, very interesting. Sneakers, autographed items, rare books, wristwatches. Nah, dude, I'm basically here for... Actually, love posters. Yes, those are actually great. I have a pretty nice... hang on. Magazines? Why do they have comic books but no... I'm not telling them magazines. I collect magazines and I don't want you all to know about it. So I'm not letting you know. Do you currently own? Of course, that's why I have the survey. When was the last time you submitted cards to Beckett? Within the last week or two. Yeah, it was like 3 weeks. I'll do 3 weeks and just pick that item because that was right after a show. From most important to least important, can you rank the following that matters to you as a collector when you submit your cards to any grading company? All right, yeah. Well, brand and resale value go hand in hand, but honestly, the way that they are likely going to interpret this is brand matters. So let's change our brand. Let's change our logo. Like, I don't want you all to know that brand is important because they go hand in hand with resale value. The actual brand I don't care about. It goes hand in hand with resale value, but resale value trumps it. I don't care about obtaining higher grades. I care about accurate grades. Like, why is accuracy not on there? Okay. Price and turnaround time are probably on par. So price is most important because even if you have a 5-day turnaround time, if it's $1,000, I'm not doing it. Even if the price is $2 and you have a 1-year turnaround time, I'm not going to do it. And they kind of go hand in hand. So I'm going to go price is more important because that actually impacts my wallet. Obtaining higher grades, I don't care about that at all. I care about accurate grading. I feel like I can pick out Gym Mint cards. If you can't grade accurately, then I don't know what the deal is. What's your problem, dude? You shouldn't be a grading company if you can't grade accurately. I'm not interested in achieving higher grades for the sake of achieving higher grades. I just want accurate grades. What are the main reasons you submit to Beckett over other grading services? Brand heritage, case, high grading standards, subgrade, transparency. Yes, I like that. That's a great one. Opportunity. Yes, that's a great one. I don't do secondary market value. Oh, I will pick secondary market value over all grading companies aside from PSA. I will click that. Brand heritage is a great one. So, case lay. Honestly, all these are really good. High grading standards. I'll choose all these. These are actually all really, really, really good. These are all things that Beckett has historically done well at. Their case is great. They have great brand and heritage. I mean, right now they suck. People love SGC. People love CSG. A bunch of newbies. A lot of pumpers. But people don't realize Beckett has a great brand loyalty and heritage. There's so many high dollar cards that are in Beckett holders. Not so much moving forward because they screwed the pooch. They can fix it because they have years of brand equity that they're currently tarnishing. But they can fix it because there's brand heritage. There's so many LeBron James exquisites in Beckett holders. There's so many Fleer Jordans in Beckett holders. Now they're currently getting cracked out trying to go to PSA because you're ruining your brand as we speak. High grading standards, I don't think that I know what you're going to get. I know that you're going to be soft on corners. You're going to give me 9 subgrades, and it's going to be 9.5. I know your centering grades are going to be good. Occasionally, you're going to give me an 8 for the edges, and I'm going to be like, why? Sometimes you're going to be soft on surface. You're not going to be as harsh of a grader as PSA, but you are going to be more consistent. So the high grading standards is more so with consistency as opposed to PSA, where you get 80% gem rate, 29% gem rate, 44% gem rate, 42% gem rate, all in the same type of cards. Based on what you know today, do you think Beckett's grading scale needs to... No! Why can't I just type in here? I'm going to... All caps. All caps? Caps? There we go. You don't have a problem with the grading scale. Get it through your thick head chopra. Your problem is operations. We hate your company currently because you aren't good with operations. This is as basic as I can get it. I'm talking like a 3-year-old. Put simply, ladies and gentlemen, I can't spell. For 25 years, you had consistent, reliable service, predictable quality as it relates to grading, a very clear and transparent grading scale. You all guaranteed turnaround times. Guaranteed turnaround times. But then in 2018, you went away from that because your operations suck. And you watched your equivalent market share partner run laps around you in the last 5 years as they 10x'd their business, and you sat on your butt and watched. Sure, you hired Chopra, but here we are talking about issues that are not, quote, caps, not the problem. The problem is your operations. 45-day turnaround guarantee has to come back along with $12 or less grading. Additionally, your $5 autograph authentication fee is a ridiculous hidden tax. It used to be $2, but now it is nothing more than a hidden cost used to bolster the grading fee charged to the customer. It needs to go away. If you are going to copy anything good from your competitors, you should steal that. Okay. Based on what you know today, are you in favor of or opposed to 4 9.5 subgrades being upgraded? Opposed. Don't change the grading scale. Don't change the label. Don't change the case. Don't break what isn't broken. Fix what is broken, and that's operations. Research your industry before joining. Ask more questions from smarter people who know what they are talking about. Not some bums on the street. I'm not going to type that. I lose credibility whenever I type that. Should BGS incorporate the definitions associated with the 9.5 numerical grades, True Gym Mint? So this one is the one thing that I could potentially be on board with, because this is basically an industry standard where you have true gym terminology and gym terminology. The way that they ask this question, where you have True Gym Mint Plus, and True Gym Mint Plus Plus, no. 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 No, 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 no. I mean, at this point, turn yourself into Tag. I mean, if you want to have four different Gym Mints, Gym Mint, True Gym Mint, Gym Mint Plus, Gym Mint Plus Plus, why don't we just have Gym Mint Plus Plus Plus? Gym Mint Quad Plus, Gym Mint Quintuple Plus. I mean, well, why stop there? Just keep adding pluses everywhere. Let's make it a numerical scale like Tag. Again, I'm going to say no, don't fix what's broken. The grading scale is not broken. Stop being insecure. You're being insecure, Beckett. You're being insecure. It's all on you. Oh, the competition. Oh, the competition. Don't worry about the competition. You know what? Case study. 2007. Video games. Halo 3. Game of the year. Game of the decade. Call of Duty 4 comes out. You know, they're still kicking Call of Duty's butt because Call of Duty historically hasn't been that great. What does Halo 3 do after the Call of Duty release? They say, hey, let's be like Call of Duty. Let's come out with Halo Reach. Guess what? People abandoned ship. Then they came out with Halo 4. They abandoned ship even worse. Then they came out with Halo 5. People like me tuned out and moved on with life. Well, maybe you should try to be you instead of trying to be others who are trying to one-up you and are clearly doing so because you are validating their moves by trying to be them and stooping to their level. Stop trying to fix problems that aren't broken, that don't need to be solved. There's nothing wrong with the grading scale. There's nothing wrong with the case. Stop listening to all these Pelly boys out there who don't know anything about cards that just got into the marketplace, just like you, Chopra. Don't listen to them. Listen to people who've been in there 20 plus years, not 5 years and not 10 years, 20 plus. 20 plus. Are you in favor or opposed to a BGS Gym Mint 10 having minimum subgrade configure? No. 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 Do I have to repeat myself over and over and over again? Chopra, Fix the problems that need fixed. That is your operations. Ask your employees, why are you stuck at 50,000 cards graded per month while your competition is doing 1 mil plus? And it's actually 1.2 mil, but I'm going to give them a little bit of a break. You know, we're not that far behind. We're only doing 5%. No, you're doing less than 5% of your competitor. Okay. What other improvements do you see? Let's see if they actually identified any problems. All right, let's see. Quality assurance. Actually, I think they're okay with that. Turnaround times, absolutely. Case improvements, no. Label upgrades, no. Pop report, yes. They have all the sets that are broken out individually. I don't think that's great. I wish the website functionality, yes. You destroyed the best sports card form on the planet, the old Beckett message boards. So I already don't have faith in anybody associated with Beckett to fix anything as it relates to technology, because you had the greatest message board on earth and then you destroyed it. And we all had to go to Freedom Cardboard and follow Chris Gilmore, the ya dip guy. He's famous now because he ya dipped and stole cards from everybody. We had to follow that guy for 3 years before finally we were like, yeah, he kind of sucks. We need to go over here to Blowout, like somewhere else. Literally, we didn't have to go anywhere. You had it right there, but you decided to change your website and you screwed the pooch. All right, mobile app. Don't care. Who cares? Customer service. Yes. Holy piss. Your customer service sucks. As in they're non-existent. Yes, that'd be great. How about cheaper grading? More grading. More facilities. Going from 50,000 grading per month to 250,000 per month, or 500,000, or 1 million. Just a thought. Okay. Would you be interested in grading your cards for just yeah, I would. Yeah, that sounds great. It's cheap grading. Duh. It's cheap grading. It's cheap grading. That's what the hobby needs in order to sustain volume. There is not a market for 15 plus grading on a mass scale between 4 major companies, especially when you relinquished all of your market share. In order to get that back, you need to be cheaper and you need to be better, meaning faster TAs, guaranteed TAs, high quality slabs with no scratching, no changes to any of the current grading scale slab makeup. Stick with what made you great, just do more of it at a cheaper price, guaranteed. That is the punchline. What other feedback would you like to share with Beckett? I am minimally encouraged that your company is soliciting feedback. I hope that you take this feedback seriously. I am currently recording it and uploading it for others to share because I have a feeling that many feel the same way, and I want you to see it and take in the honest feedback from someone who wants you to succeed. So we'll go ahead and type this in, shortslabs@gmail.com. All right, FYI, check it out on my channel, Tyler Short. Okay, submitted. Hang on, did it submit? Did it go? Did it go? We go? Are we already having issues here with, oh yeah, let's get rid of that. Okay, that was what it was. Let's see if this goes again. Boom, done. Okay, so to wrap things up, I know that I was very harsh on Beckett. I know I took a lot of shots at him. To be quite honest, I really, really, really want Beckett to succeed. I am pulling for them out of all the third-party graders. Beckett, hear me, Chopra. I know I've thrown fireballs at you. I've thrown Mario fireballs and Luigi fireballs, and you're like dodging them, and some of them are hitting, and it's like I'm punched you in the face Mike Tyson style. I get it. But I am really rooting for your success. I'm rooting for every employee's success at Beckett. I'm rooting for the success of Jeremy Murray. You all are the only company that stands a viable chance at competing with PSA. And I truly, truly mean that. The reason why is you are the only company that has the brand integrity and the brand equity that has been established over the years to go pound for pound with PSA. You are the only company whose holder I respect on par with Beckett in some capacities not so much, but I would love to have Beckett cards in my collection as opposed to PSA. If I would be collecting, it would be Beckett, not PSA. So I love the holder, I love the feel, I love everything about it. Unfortunately, I have deep concerns that you are heading in the wrong direction based on your decision making and based on CEO Chopra's decision making since he's been hired. I get it, he's not a hobbyist. Bad hire. I would not have pulled the trigger on that, but the trigger has been made. He is the CEO. It is what it is. I don't work for Beckett, so I can speak freely. Jeremy Murray works for Beckett. He cannot speak freely. Other yes men in the company cannot speak freely. Other people who derive their income predominantly from the hobby cannot speak freely because nobody wants to talk bad about anybody in this hobby. That's why it is the way it is. It's the Wild Wild West, and it's just a complete disaster. So I am speaking to you honestly from someone who has been in the hobby and graded cards all the way as a little kiddo, 12 years old, 1999, first submission to Beckett, 20 cards, none graded to Gym Mint, all the way up until now where I submitted my last order 2 to 3 weeks ago. Been with you the entire time. I can tell you the grading scale wasn't a problem in 1999. It's not a problem now. The label wasn't a problem in 1999. It's not a problem now. The holder wasn't a problem in 1999. In fact, I still have one of that card. 1996 Topps Chrome Kobe Bryant, graded 1999, still in the holder. It looks beautiful. Amazing. It's my dad's, not mine. Not a problem. Love it. Nothing needs to change. Nothing. Actually, what needs to change is your operations. In case I didn't get that point clear, operations. Another facility. More workers. I mean, Texas, there's a lot of people moving to Texas. I don't understand it. Like, I don't get why you're not hiring people. You're in Dallas. You're in a large metro area. Like, pay them more money. Look at how much money you're charging for grading. Like, your margins on grading are insane. Do not fix technology. Do not invest in NFTs. Do not do all these things. Fix your operations. That is your growth strategy. Trust me, there's people like me begging to move away from PSA based on the inconsistency, based on the lack of promos, based on the high cost of grading. Trust me, you release $9 grading without subgrades, make it 10 to 11 with subgrades. You will get swamped with volume, so be prepared. Don't do that until you can handle that volume, but bring back turnaround time guarantees, bring back cheap grading. You will get a significant volume because I will have the chance at getting pristines and black labels, and it will be great. We'll all be talking about Beckett, but until then, we're not going to be talking about Beckett. We might talk about Beckett whenever we want to send in some fatty cards, like some big, thick game-used memorabilia cards, or some PSA 9 rejects because PSA graded them incorrectly. And we know that you're going to grade them correctly. We're just not going to get a premium. And our pride is getting in the way because we disagree with PSA because they got that one wrong. But we know that you're going to get it right, but we're still going to pay you a stupid price just to get it graded just so that we can prove ourselves right. So I've done that several times. Hope you absorb this feedback because it's very much so needed for the hobby. Grading is in a dire, dire place. If you don't get this fixed because we are beholden to PSA, I like PSA, but we're beholden to them, and it's not good. We need some competition in this marketplace. So take this feedback. I hope that you all also submitted some feedback. Let me know what you all think down below. Is that too harsh? I don't know, that's very harsh. That's pretty harsh on these guys, but I think it needs to be said because the hobby needs it. All right, we'll see you guys next time.